Oh, I'm sure I'll probably get some flack for this particular video, but it's kind of what happens when you speak truthfully about issues. Now, the issue I want to talk about today, friends, is modesty in the church. Now, of course, this is a really contentious issue for a lot of different reasons, and one is, of course, the fact that, well, it's just controversial because it's largely due to opinion, right? So all I'm trying to do is offer mine now, but I believe that my opinions in this particular matter are scripturally based. Rome, where Paul talks about modesty. So there's basically, so when it comes to church attire, it's about we're supposed to represent the heart of Jesus. That's what it's about. So for both men and women, the last thing we should be wanting to do is be a stumbling block for fellow brothers and sisters in Christ. So if you're a woman, you probably shouldn't wear really tight clothing because that draws attention to your figure in ways that are distracting probably to the men around you. And if you're a man, probably the same thing. You probably shouldn't wear tight clothing because that could be quite distracting to your sisters in Christ. Now, of course, I'm not saying you should dress like a slob either, but yeah, that's the other thing. You should dress in a way that doesn't draw attention to yourself, but yet when people look at you, it's kind of an interesting target to hit. Not drawing attention to yourself, but yet if people look at you, they wouldn't think something's off about you. So, and attire is important because the reason that your attire is important is because it reflects. It reflects a lot of things that go on in your heart, in your head. So if you dress like a slob, that would suggest that you really don't care enough about yourself. So if you don't take care of your hygiene, don't brush your teeth, don't comb your hair, don't shave and those kind of things. So those things are indicative of lack of self-respect, which of course is not good. And on the other hand, you can go and Paul talks about too with women. If you're going to church, you shouldn't be adorned with jewels, meaning to say that you should be modest, right? So I'm not saying you shouldn't wear jewelry at all. If you're women, by all means, wear some jewelry, have a couple of earrings, maybe a necklace. But the point is, you're not there for people to notice you. You're there to worship Jesus with other people. At least I would hope you would be. So, and of course, you most certainly shouldn't be dressing in sexually provocative ways. Low-cut skirts or low-cut tops, or so anything that draws attention to your body, especially in provocative ways. So if you're a woman, so if you're dressing in a way that draws attention to your bust or to your butt, then something's wrong with that. And if you're a guy, if you're dressed in a way that draws attention to your body in sexually suggestive or provocative ways, then you've become a stumbling block, and that's what you should avoid. So you should dress in. There's nothing wrong with being fashionable. If you're a guy, if you're going to church, you should look sharp. And also modest. So those are the two things I think you should probably go for when you go to church. Dress sharp, dress neatly, and dress modestly. It's really not that difficult, but because again, this is about doing what's good for the sake of another. And so you might say, well, I'm not trying to become a stumbling block to my brothers or sisters. I'm just dressing in a way that is comfortable. Well, okay, you should dress obviously in clothes that you feel comfortable wearing, but it's not all about you, right? You're there. If you're worshiping at home, you can, and if it's only you around, you can be naked for all you care. But you're in church. Obviously, you're not going to go to church naked if you have any sense. But you should also dress in ways that don't draw too much attention to yourself, negatively or negatively. So you shouldn't dress sexually provocatively or suggestively, and you should dress in ways that suggest you actually care about your your appearance. Like, you shouldn't go to church looking disheveled, unshaven, unkept, like you haven't, like you shouldn't look like you've been, you just taken out of a deserted deserted island. You shouldn't look like you've been rescued from a deserted island and you haven't bathed or showered in quite some time, right? You shouldn't look like that. You should obviously take care of your hygiene. Do your hair, shave, brush your teeth, all that jazz. So take care of your personal hygiene and dress sharply and modestly. Simple as that. Peace out, brother.